Cinder's hygienic doctor mask covered her mouth in disgust as she cut out the tumorous and gangrenous pieces of rotting flesh from Roman Torchwick's carcass's ass. With her screw crew missing two actually competent members, Cinder needed a new henchman. She had spent months of vigorous planning, and the consumption of the oil of the 12th hour consumed in a stream of fire, born of heat and dust and sin, as the bells of the underworld toiled, and her ancestors scorned her and looked on in disgust at her unholy work. Kids these days just didn't value life, possessed by passion, or perhaps madness. Cinder carried her dreadful work throughout the hours of the night, a corrupted soul, a maverick of the darkest days, sinning against and mocking the creator of all things, the raven crows in the darkest pits of hell, as the dove nurses the lotus of life and the high corners of paradise. So too is Cinder steeped in taboo and depravity, as she is blessed by history and advancement herself. Cinder had no fucking clue what she was doing, and it was only through a stroke of luck that she had even retrieved the body at all. That rotting corpse of her co-conspirator, so grotesque and distinguished by the pallor of pestilence and death, seemed more beautiful at that moment than the blood-stained Futanari phallus of the great Usagi Faunus, matriarch. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and to her the cadaver appeared to emanate a golden light from choice cuts, such as the small intestine and the windpipe. It appeared to Cinder as if the heavens and the angels themselves had ordained that she must proceed with this gruesome task, this black undertaking, a test of her intelligence, a chance to make history, to acquire a henchman without having to go to the shitty mercenary website full of edgy amateur scrubs who do not even have knowledge of what a metagame is, and who look like some sorry fool created them on DeviantArt. Cinder counted herself blessed, a truly fortunate individual to have found Roman Torchwick's living vessel in the dumpster, even his high-quality weaponized cane still intact and safely secured in his maggot-infested anal passage. The body had finally been perfected, with a heavy heart and eyes shining with what could be described as either morbid anticipation or intense constipation. Cinder swallowed a spoonful of fire dust and cinnamon and vomited all over Roman's face. His eyes snapped open under the stream of bile, those grotesque, sickly yellowed orbs curling the puke around his face, as Roman groaned and slowly got up, his rotting body odor mingling with Cinder's vomit, weakened bones creaking and groaning underneath his weight. Cinder hurled again.
Oh God, why? I was going to tell you my master plan and crap, but you're fucking disgusting. Get out of my sight. Holy shit. I can't believe I wasted like 3 months putting you back together.
Cinder said kindly and seductively to Roman, who got up and shambled out. Cinder decided that next time she brought something back to life, it would be that 2-million-year-old caveman frozen in the 2-million-year-old ice cube that she had read about in the 2-million-year-old paper. Hours later, after much shuffling around, Roman decided to rob a dust shop for the sake of the times of the past. He'd do it himself this time. He had learned that most henchmen have no idea what a metagame is, and they usually look like some poor fool made them on Wattpad. Junior's club had disappeared while Roman was deceased anyway, which was kind of weird. The old pedophile guy running the little dying dust shop shat his pants in horror, not only because a man with a cane was once again robbing his store, but also because he was fucking disgusting and smelled like Russell Thrush and was scaring away all the customers. The grandpa shopman fainted upon seeing Roman reach him, dripping blood and pieces of flesh onto the countertop that he had just cleaned. Roman just shrugged and helped himself to the dust crystals to the counter when that annoying, prepubescent red kid and that weird-ass sword girl appeared.
Seriously, Roman, in the middle of our date, we have to fight.
Ruby started and stopped as she got a good eyeful of Roman's sagging, bulbous face and promptly threw up the remains of 5,000 cookies and threw Penny at a blind beggar outside the store so that he could have some pocket change. Roman, like a true gentleman, took advantage of Ruby's self-incapacitation and clubbed her over the head until she fell unconscious before tying her and Penny together. He then proceeded to tear their clothes off. Roman had risen from the dead, and after seeing the underage, uncovered bodies of the girls, something else rose too. Unable to find a proper opening on Penny, he inserted his 4-month expired rotting sausage into RWBY's red wrapper. When RWBY came to, Roman came to. This is pedophilia. The look on RWBY's face was priceless, and only served to make Roman hard again, until she started vomiting all over the place. She wouldn't stop throwing up. Holy shit. She hurled so much that the acid was starting to rust Penny.
Salutations. RWBY, is this your friend?
Penny asked like some kind of retard as RWBY started to cough up blood, as Roman pulled out and pushed her on top of the shopkeep geezer, who woke up and was quickly knocked unconscious by the stream of cookie clicker vomit. "I am not her friend, little miss," Roman said as he flipped Penny upside down and shoved his erect, grave-wrought hose into her mouth. "This is for messing up the robbery at the docks," he said as he shoved his left fist into Penny's asshole before screaming in agony as Penny's mechanical internal organs turned his hand into 4-month-old expired ground meat.
"I'm combat ready,"
Penny exclaimed cheerfully after Roman withdrew rapidly from the foul fellatio and she swallowed the cum. His haste would be his downfall, as Cinder had not done a good job in surgically removing his cane from his anal passage, having greatly weakened the pelvis. The bones finally shattered, leaving Roman as a torso. He used his remaining hand to pull himself away from the scene, and cursed his luck as Penny's 2 guards, one red and the other blue, rounded the corner and leveled their guns at him.
Freeze! Penny, your father's not going to be happy about this. Holy fuck! It's that motherfucking ice cream whore!
He screeched as Neo drove an ice cream truck to the shop, flashed her tits at the guards, and led them away. Roman dove into a conveniently nearby and open manhole, internally thanking Neo for saving his undead ass, before a strong hand clamped over her shoulder, feeling as though it belonged to Satan himself.
"I would break your legs if you still had them,"
Nora whispered to Roman sensually. She tied him up and gave him to Ren, who ran off and deposited him in Nora's secret bondage snuff film dungeon refrigerator for later use. Cinder anonymously tipped the police off that Torchwick's undead sex rampage had been the result of one of the late General sex experiments, and they fucking believed her because they were high on donuts. I can relate, 'cause I'm fat. His medals and ranks were confiscated, and his body was exhumed from the Elysian Cemetery of Honor and buried in Blake's letterbox. To be continued.